It's now time for the Pony Cake Sports Podcast with your hosts, Josh Stevens, Tim Thompson, and Tom Schultz. Woo!
Hey there, everybody. We are back with another episode, and it is fantasy related. We are bringing you our breakdowns and our picks and our rankings for the quarterback position. And as always, I'm joined by Tim and Tom. Guys, how's it going?
Josh, I'm fantastic. I'm excited to bring the listeners our fantasy forecast for the quarterback position for week 1. It's football week, and I'm excited.
I'm pumped as well. Quarterback position, the deepest that it's been in a long, long time.
Very
we talked
true.
about that before. So a lot of valuable people there, but there's still a cream of the crop, if you would.
We're going to try to keep this as quick as we can because I know you guys are listening to this on your drive to work or on your way home from work or on your lunch break.
Or in the Wendy's drive-thru.
We're going to make this happen for you. But we're using fantasypros.com. We're going off their rankings for week 1 for the quarterback position. They have 1, Aaron Rodgers, 2, Tom Brady, 3, Drew Brees, 4, Cam Newton, and 5, Deshaun Watson. What do you guys think about that top 5?
Aaron Rodgers, it makes sense that he's number 1. It's pretty much clear cut. Everyone's number 1 wide receiver going into the season. I am not high on him this week. We see at Fantasy Pros the worst. Someone has him 7. I'm more in the line of that. I think he's going to struggle against this Bears defense, and I think it's going to be a low-scoring game.
I don't get how you hate on Aaron Rodgers.
I don't hate him, but
I'm not saying it. I don't.
If you drafted him, you're going to start
For
him.
sure, you're going to start him. I just think as improved as the Bears defense is, there's still a lot of questions there. The Packers are still at home. They still have Devontae Adams. And that Bears secondary is, is it a one-year wonder? And even in that 1 year, the Green Bay Packers still had success. So I am still playing Aaron Rodgers as my number 1 quarterback above anyone else. If I'm in a DraftKings type situation, that's absolutely who I'm playing in my number 1. Let him prove you wrong. Same way you do with Tom Brady year after year in a full season. Until he finally just falls off, make him prove you wrong.
You're nuts if you're playing him in daily,
Yeah,
paying top dollar for him this week.
In daily, I'd be leaning away from that. I would tend to go with a quarterback such as like a Phillip Rivers or Russell Wilson. If you look at this list here, you have Matthew Stafford at 6, Kirk Cousins at 7, Russell Wilson at 8, Phillip Rivers at 9, Big Ben at 10.
I really like, you just brought up Russell Wilson. I think that game's going to start off very ugly for the Seattle Seahawks. But as we saw last year, every time that team got down, what happened? Russell Wilson brought them back into the football game, and they're going to have to rely on him. That offense is still going to struggle, but that Denver defense will play a little prevent coverage in the late third, early fourth quarter, and Russell Wilson will be able to get you some big-time points, plus that rushing ability. I think he'd be a steal if he's going off like 8th right now. That's absurd to me.
Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily absurd. I just don't. I don't know how I feel about Russell Wilson as a whole this season. In all honesty,
Doesn't matter about the season. We're talking about week 1.
I know. Well, I know it's just week 1, but this week alone, I love him. I've drafted him actually in a couple leagues. But the more I've thought about it, he should have the Deshaun Watson effect, so to speak. He should have that garbage time love, as I like to call it. But the other guy that I'm looking at here, kind of middle of the road, is what's Andrew Luck going to bring to the table?
Mm-hmm.
That's my kind of go-to here. What's he going to bring? This is the week that I feel like, I know, Tom, you're doing it in our league. Run with him. Run with him and see what you have, because you're either going to be super, super excited or super, super disappointed. I don't think there's a middle ground for Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck is an elite level quarterback. Andrew Luck is a top 5 quarterback in this league. If he is healthy, he is up there with the Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and whoever else you can think of the world. Andrew Luck is the future if he can get himself right, and I hope to see him. I mentioned it in a previous episode. I think he's going to struggle early. I look for him to come back extremely strong in that second half, put up over 300 yards, have 2 to 3 touchdowns, and hopefully put aside a pick or 2 to kind of, dust the dirt off his shoulder and show that he's still elite.
Quarterbacks number 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Andrew Luck, Andy Dalton, Jared Goff, Marcus Mariota, and Mr. Matty Ice, Matt Ryan.
Something we missed, but I think is very important. Number 10 was Big Ben.
Yep.
I think a lot of people are going to be all in on that, playing the Cleveland Browns. They suck. But it's on the road. Yeah, Big Ben kind of turned the page last year. That he was a lot better on the road than he normally was. But I think he's going to go back to his old self. I think Le'Veon Bell's going to be out, and I think that Cleveland Browns defense is going to be able to get after Big Ben. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, so I do not want anything to do with Big Ben. If you were streaming him, pairing him up with like a Pip Rivers, like a lot of people were able to do, start Pip Rivers over Big Ben this week. Out of that group you just listed, Josh, I think the Bengals are going to be able to move the football. Andy Dalton, number 12, that's good value. I think in Daly, you're going to be able to get him for good value as well.
Kind of give everybody an idea. Like, if you look at the list that Fantasy Pros does have, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Cam Newton, Deshaun Watson, and Ben Roethlisberger, who is at number 10, were all ranked as possibly the best player for quarterback this week. And on the other side, 7, 7, 11, 13, 9, and Roethlisberger was the 17th best rated quarterback going into week 1. So a lot of these quarterbacks, their rankings are all across the board. And even if you're looking at some of these later round guys, or the later quarterbacks here, like a Blake Bortles, some people have him as the 13th best quarterback, which is crazy to think about. Tyrod Taylor, the 8th. They had him at 8th. Somebody had him at 8th. Dak Prescott, somebody had him at 9th. But overall, if you look at it and combine all the numbers, they're pretty much quarterbacks number 17, 18, and 20.
I just want to throw it out there. Now, granted, it's a little bit different times because the Browns were much worse, and Le'Veon Bell was there the last time that the Steelers played in Cleveland, and Le'Veon Bell had 28 carries. But last time they were in Cleveland, I remember this because I played Ben Roethlisberger that day. 23 for 36, 167 yards, 0 touchdowns. Ben Roethlisberger is a different player outside of Pittsburgh, and you have to remember, these are division rivals. These are the type of matchups. This is the exact reason why you draft someone else outside of Big Ben when it comes to fantasy football, because you're not sure exactly what you're going to get on the road against divisional talent. That was early in the season as well, or earlier in the season, I should say. That was November of last year. So just be careful. Be careful putting all your eggs in that Ben Roethlisberger basket.
Real quick, kind of touching on some of these bigger name quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes, rated as the 19th best play against the Chargers. What are your guys' thoughts?
That Chargers defense is very good, but what I really think is going to happen in this game, I think the Chargers are going to get a lead, and I think there's going to be a lot of garbage time. Tim brought this up in our little predictions episode, but I think Patrick Mahomes is going to get some opportunity late in this football game. Vegas believes this is going to be a high-scoring football game. I think it's the 5th or 6th highest-scoring game, is according to them. So I think Patrick Mahomes, possibility, a couple, 2-3 turnovers, but I think he's going to have over 300 yards, a couple passing touchdowns. And one thing that's completely underrated and people don't talk about with him, he's a very good scrambler, very athletic, and that's just going to pad his stats in fantasy.
I'm going to go, all of you in your DraftKings, if you're going big name heavy and other spots outside of quarterback, look at Case Keenum. That Seattle defense is trash. It is trash right now. They're going to barely have a pass rush. They have no secondary whatsoever. If Case Keenum's able to put it together, the Emmanuel Sanders, the Demaryius Thomas, I know I still went with Seattle in our game because I think it'll be a shootout of sorts, but Case Keenum has, if he's able to do what he did last year in Denver, this has got a chance to be a fantastic game. It's at home. He's got everything kind of going his way. I like Case Keenum this week.
Real quick, I'm just going to pick a couple guys and tell me your guys' thoughts between the two, who you like better.
Okay.
Cam Newton is the ranked number 4 quarterback. Phillip Rivers, number 9 quarterback. Which quarterback?
Give me Pip.
Yeah, I will take Pip as well. Who are the Panthers playing? They're
Dallas.
Yeah, I'll take Pip as well.
Kirk Cousins, who's the number 7 quarterback versus San Francisco,
Yep.
or Russell Wilson, who is facing Denver.
Give me Russell Wilson.
I'm going to take Russell Wilson as well. I've been very confident in him.
I think the matchup with Cousins is better with San Francisco, but I think they'll be up in that game and be running the football a lot in that second half.
Agreed.
Some of these guys are a little bit lower on the board. Patrick Mahomes, who's the 19th ranked quarterback, which I don't think is correct, versus Jimmy Garoppolo, who is the number 21 ranked quarterback. Again, Mahomes against the Chargers, Garoppolo against the Vikings, playing two tough defenses.
Both on the road, both against two of the top 2 or 3 defenses.
There's probably a lot of fantasy teams that went out and drafted these two guys.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I just think Patrick Mahomes has more of the ability to, potentially be getting pressured and just do the Deshaun Watson, whip the ball down the field 60 yards, and hope someone catches it. They got a lot of talent there as well. Sammy Watkins, Tyreek Hill. I would, so shockingly actually to even myself, I would take Patrick Mahomes.
Bold prediction: I'd rather start Derek Carr this week over Jimmy Garoppolo.
Really?
Yep.
Why is that?
I think they're going to be getting their butts whooped, man. I really do. I think it's going to be an ugly football game. And we've seen what happens when games get like that. And I think the Rams are a far superior team. And Derek Carr being ranked 28th right now, it's way too low for him. Especially, I keep bringing up the Vegas. They have that game at 49.5 points, second most in the NFL. When a score is that high, they're normally pretty close. Vegas is good. You got to rely on the information you are given. I think the Raiders will end up scoring some football or some points, and that means that Derek Carr's gonna have a decent day.
I hope you're right. Because I got Amari Cooper, and I'm hoping to see him have himself a day, get back more close to that wide receiver 1 number.
But having Joe Flacco above Derek Carr is stupid.
I agree.
Yeah,
I think people.
I agree with that.
I mean, people forget too, and we talked about it going into last year when people still had Derek Carr extremely high. Of what's he going to be like coming off of the injury. We get that it doesn't affect his throwing necessarily, but it's still a mental block you have to get over. Derek Carr is still the franchise quarterback of the soon-to-be Las Vegas Raiders. He still has a potential star in Amari Cooper. Derek Carr could still be an elite quarterback. Having him all the way down at 28, my God. Ryan Fitzpatrick, Mitchell Trubisky. I mean, holy cow! I truly can't believe these rankings.
Last but not least, it's a three quarterbacks. Mitchell Trubisky, Sam Darnold, Nathan Peterman.
Give me Mitch. I'd take Mitch there. That's an ugly choice. Really,
Yeah.
Hopefully no one has that. That's more of like a daily kind of question.
It's like a 2-quarterback league, and you need to pick somebody up off
I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to take Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold, as bad as I think he's going to be, I think the Bears are going to continue to protect Mitchell Trubisky a little bit. Now, I don't think he's going to have a ton of attempts, and I don't think they're going to be down by a bunch. So I don't think he's going to have to just be constantly throwing. I think Nathan Peterman is the definition of a Pee Wee football quarterback. And the Jets are going to be down by a bunch. Sam Darnold's got an opportunity to be throwing the ball around. They got some talent there in New York. So why not? That's who I would take.
And I take it back. I got one more. Alex Smith or Dak Prescott?
I'll take Dak.
I'll take Alex.
Why?
I just don't like with the weapons that Dak has, and I'm nervous. I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth here. I still took Zeke number 1 in one of my drafts because I'm confident in him. But just with that offensive line there, this is a huge, huge year for Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Of what is he going to be? Who's he going to be? Can he actually be the offense, controlling the offense and just keep the ball safe and do what he has to do? Or is it just going to just all be about Zeke? Alex Smith has proven that it doesn't matter how bad his team is. Even when he's not a top 10 quarterback, he can protect the football. I just have more confidence that I'm not going to have I'm not going to lay an egg with Alex Smith.
I hate the notion that Dak doesn't have weapons now. What has he had? Des Bryant the last 2 years has been pretty bad. Jason Witten was his probably second best receiver. He's slow. He's really not much. What else have they really had?
Yeah.
You don't buy into the fact that teams were actually at least looking and focusing on those players when they were there?
Not really. They were putting 8-9 guys in the box trying to stop that run game. That's why Dak has been able to pass the football with ease, because most of his receivers have single coverage because teams are so worried about getting smashed in the face from that run game. That's what the Dallas Cowboys are. No one's like, oh, we're scared of Dallas's passing weapons. No, they're scared of Ezekiel Elliott in that run game. Point blank. It's over with. And Dak's been fantasy relevant because he can rush the football. Last 2 years, 6 rushing touchdowns each season, over 400 rushing yards. That's why he's fantasy viable. It's that simple.
Highest scoring fantasy quarterback this week. And then biggest disappointment. We're going to finish on that.
I'm going to go highest scoring as...
Go Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Highest scoring?
Highest scoring, I'm going to go Drew Brees.
That's who I was going to go with.
I'm just worried they're going to be whooping them so bad that they don't need to pass the football.
Yeah, but his 5 touchdowns in the first quarter will carry him over.
That's definitely a possibility. I'm going to go Fitzpatrick.
And biggest disappointment?
Biggest disappointment for me, I think, is going to be Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Deshaun Watson.
Comes back to earth.
Yep. Worried about that offensive line, as most people should be. I think Bill Belichick's going to have something planned for him week 1. Make
Fair
him
enough.
look like that rookie quarterback he should have looked like last year.
All right. Well, anything else, boys?
Fantasy week is back.
Fantasy is
We
here.
got like 84 episodes now a week, so listen to all of them.
One question for you guys. You got to start one. Nick Foles, Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan.
All right, that's all we have for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this quarterback breakdown that we had for you. Look out for the wide receiver, the running back, and the tight end episode that are coming out. And until next time.
Peace.